So we have two or three programs that have YPAR-like projects that allow students to engage in research efforts, and we structure those projects a little differently based on the program that the students are involved in. But at the core of it, they're still engaged in a research-based process that really helps the students be um, tellers of their own kind of research process. So I'll explain how that shows up in our different programs, and then we can go from there. But we have a lot of our workforce programming that integrates research into the students' work experience. So there's always this academic component or this research component that's woven into all of the things that we do with our workforce and post-secondary programming. So during the school year, we have a program called Youth Civic Leadership Academy, and through that program, the students are tasked with developing a research project that helps them address some sort of civic challenge. So they have to work with their peers to identify a civic challenge, and then they use the 6-week semester program experience to help develop an understanding of what civics is, what civic engagement looks like, what civic issues are relevant or pressing in their respective communities, and then they work to develop to better understand what that issue is, and then they develop solutions to addressing those civic issues. Then they connect with stakeholders or folks in that field that can also make that solution a little bit more tangible. So we had students that were, for example, like really frustrated with the homelessness in the city, and we had them understand like the historical context of homelessness in Pittsburgh, had them understand some of the challenges and some of the things that have been done previously. We had the students actually then connect with some individuals who were unhoused and learning more about their experiences. So engaging them in interviews, we had them connect with folks that are leading this work in different pathways. And from there, they were able to synthesize that information and develop solutions based on some of the gaps in their understanding of the existing work. The students went out and kind of almost developed a prototype of their solutions and started to kind of test the efficacy of those solutions or the viability of those solutions. And then from there, they're able to kind of report out at our end of the program symposium, detailing that process and being able to explain their recommendations for the civic challenge that they discovered. So that's how it shows up in one of our programs, the YPAR process. It's a little bit different than what we do in other spaces, but that is how it shows up in our Youth Civic Leadership Academy. And our other workforce program that has a central YPAR component in it is our Learn and Earn program. So once again, this is a program that's designed to engage students in work experiences over the summer. And some of the programs that exist in the city simply just have students get connected to their work site. They kind of work for 6 weeks, and then they get paid for their experience and they go on about their business. But I guess we really make a core part of the work experience academic enrichment. So the students spend about 15 hours a week at their work sites. If they are in our advanced summer scholars group, they spend about 15 hours a week, and then they spend about 5 to 7 additional hours each week engaged in their learning labs, which is what we call them now. And then connected to their learning labs is also the YPAR process that they undergo with their peers. So that is a very critical part of the work that we do through our Learn and Earn program. And so the students are allotted about 25 hours a week. And as I mentioned, about 5 to 7 of those 25 hours is devoted specifically to the research-based experiences. Now, our younger students, our summer scholars, they have a YPAR course that's more embedded into their summer experience. So those students are engaged in YPAR work every day except Wednesday. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, they're taking a YPAR course. They're engaged in the process. They're working closely with their instructor. They're really leading that effort. So they have a lot more engagement with the YPAR process, and they have more time to really understand like what YPAR is. they understand their role in the process. Like we really spend a lot of time breaking it down for them, and they come in with a true understanding of what kind of the purpose behind the YPAR process. Where some of our other students more so just jump right into it as opposed to getting that kind of background context. I do find that's really helpful for our younger students, and I think it's helpful for them to situate their program experience within the context of that learning. So that's how YPAR shows up with our summer scholars. It's still all under the same umbrella of the Learn and Earn program, the workforce program, but as I mentioned, it shows up differently based on the program pathway that the students are in. Now, our yes vets, we call them, the students that have been with us for more than 3 to 4 years, they get a chance to actually facilitate a project, a research project or independent research project, but they are the ones that are solely kind of responsible for that project development. So we're not necessarily providing them with any more training, or we offer some program scaffolds. We give them a project management tracking system where they can track their progress and report their progress each week, but they're the ones that are largely driving their projects forward. So we offer like a loose scaffolding opportunity for them, but for the most part, they're the ones that are leading their YPAR projects. Um, and so they get a chance to really own all of the process and they're not really beholden to any real strict guidelines other than like, hey, we want you to have somebody to present at the research symposium. So they have complete creative freedom and the ability to explore anything they want. So that autonomy is helpful. That agency, the ability to kind of direct and guide their work has shown to be really beneficial and fruitful. So that's how YPAR shows up with our Yes Vets. Um, I would say those are the two programs right now that have the most intentional integrated YPAR efforts.